Seniors, beware. The 5 water mistakes that could harm your health every morning. Waking up in the morning should feel like stepping into a brand new opportunity. A clean slate, a chance to nourish your body, sharpen your mind, and strengthen your spirit. And for many seniors, one of the first habits they're told to adopt is simple. Drink water right after waking up. It sounds harmless enough, doesn't it? After all, hydration is vital for health at every age. But here's something most people don't realize, especially as we get older. The way we hydrate matters just as much as the fact that we hydrate. The truth is, when you're in your golden years, your body behaves a little differently than it did in your 20s or 30s. The metabolism slows down, the thirst mechanism weakens, and the way your heart, kidneys, and blood vessels respond to fluid intake changes in subtle but powerful ways. What once worked without a second thought now demands a little more wisdom, a little more care. That's where real health begins. Not just with good habits, but with good habits done the right way. You see, drinking water in the morning can be a powerful ritual. It can energize you, support your joints, kickstart your digestion, even clear up that lingering morning brain fog. But if done incorrectly, even something as simple and pure as water can backfire. Instead of fueling your day, it can leave you feeling lightheaded, nauseous, bloated, or even set off a chain reaction that stresses your heart and kidneys. And here's the part no one warns you about. Many of these mistakes don't show up dramatically. They creep in quietly. You might think it's just part of getting older. The sluggishness, the dizziness, the unsettled stomach. But often, it's not aging itself. It's small, preventable mistakes piling up day after day until they finally become too big to ignore. Today, we're going to peel back the curtain. We're going to talk about 5 common, dangerous mistakes seniors often make when drinking water in the morning. And more importantly, how to sidestep them gracefully. You deserve mornings that feel refreshing, not draining. You deserve to wake up feeling strong, steady, and clear-headed. And with just a few simple adjustments, you'll have the power to turn something as everyday as drinking water into a real foundation for better health. Stick with me until the end, because these insights aren't just about avoiding mistakes. They're about unlocking the kind of vitality and confidence that lets you step into every single day with purpose. Because wisdom isn't just about what we know, it's about how we use it to create a better life. Number 1, drinking water too quickly. The first mistake slips under the radar because it feels so natural. You wake up, your mouth feels dry, your throat feels scratchy, and without a second thought, you reach for that tall glass of water. Maybe it's sitting right by your bedside. Maybe you shuffle to the kitchen, eager for that first cool drink. You pick up the glass, and before you even realize it, you're gulping it down in big, greedy swallows. It feels good in the moment. It's satisfying. It's almost automatic. But hidden behind that instant relief is a shockwave rippling through your body. And for seniors, that shock can be more dangerous than you might expect. When you drink water too fast, you're not just quenching thirst, you're forcing a sudden flood into a system that's been resting all night. Your heart, your blood vessels, your kidneys, they've all been in a slow, peaceful rhythm, like a calm lake just before sunrise. Then suddenly a big surge of water comes rushing in, and everything has to react at once. For younger bodies, this kind of abrupt change might not cause much more than a hiccup. But with age, the heart muscle can become a little less flexible. Blood vessels can lose some of their youthful elasticity. The kidneys might take longer to filter and balance fluids. All this means that rapid drinking can lead to a sudden drop in blood pressure, a phenomenon called postural hypotension. In everyday language, that's the dizziness or lightheadedness you sometimes feel when you stand up too fast. But drinking water too quickly can cause a very similar sensation. It's not just dizziness either. That quick intake can set off heart palpitations, a sense of feeling off, or even mild shortness of breath. And because it seems like it strikes randomly, a lot of people chalk it up to getting old. But in reality, it's the body's way of crying out, "Slow down, I need a minute." And your stomach? It's waking up too. After hours of rest, your digestive system is operating at its slowest pace of the day. When you dump a big load of water into it all at once, it can react with bloating, nausea, or an uncomfortable heaviness. Instead of gently waking up and getting ready for breakfast, your stomach is now struggling to handle the sudden pressure. That's not how you want to start your morning. I once worked with a woman named Evelyn who had this exact problem. She was sharp, full of life, always ready with a joke. But every morning, about 15 minutes after she woke up, she'd feel dizzy and weak. She thought maybe it was low blood sugar or something serious. She went through all kinds of tests, heart scans, blood panels, you name it. Nothing dangerous showed up. Then one day, almost by accident, she mentioned her hydration habit. She would chug a full liter of water the moment her alarm went off, just like she'd seen in a magazine article about morning detoxing. When she slowed down, sipping gently over a span of 15 minutes, instead of forcing it down in 30 seconds, the dizzy spells disappeared. It wasn't her body betraying her. It was simply the way she was treating her body first thing in the morning. So what's the better way? It's beautifully simple, and you can start tomorrow morning. Before you even reach for your glass, give yourself a minute to sit up slowly. Let your blood flow adjust to being upright. Take a deep, calming breath. Then take your first sip. Small, easy, unhurried. Feel the water. Don't rush it. Let your mouth and throat greet it like an old friend, not like a race to the finish line. Aim to finish your glass over 10-15 minutes if you can. Make it a quiet, soothing ritual. Some people like to sip while they stretch lightly, while they listen to soft music, or while they just sit in the morning sun. It's not about drinking less water. It's about drinking smarter, drinking with intention. The result? Better absorption, steadier energy, a calm and happy stomach, and a heart that doesn't have to fight against sudden changes. A small change, yes, but the ripple effect, that can be life-changing, setting the tone for everything that follows in your day. Number 2, drinking water on an empty stomach without balancing electrolytes. We often hear that drinking water first thing in the morning is one of the healthiest habits you can have. And it's true, hydrating after a night's sleep is vital. But there's an important detail that most people, especially seniors, don't hear enough about. Drinking plain water on an empty stomach without considering your body's electrolyte balance can actually do more harm than good. Let's break it down. Overnight, your body works hard to repair tissues, balance hormones, and clear waste products. You're not eating or drinking during those hours, which means not only are you slightly dehydrated, but your electrolyte levels, sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, can also shift. These tiny minerals are like the sparks that keep your body's electrical systems running smoothly. Your heartbeat, your nerve signals, even your muscle movements depend on them. When you drink a large amount of pure, plain water on an already empty system, it can dilute these critical minerals even further. Imagine adding a gallon of water to a pot of soup. You don't get more flavor, you get a watered-down, bland mess. Your blood and cells react the same way. Suddenly, your carefully balanced electrolyte soup is too thin, and that's when problems start. Low sodium levels, a condition called hyponatremia, can cause symptoms that are surprisingly sneaky at first. Fatigue, confusion, headache, nausea. It can make you feel off without any obvious reason. In more severe cases, which yes can happen even from something as simple as drinking water improperly, it can cause muscle cramps, seizures, or even fainting spells. For seniors, whose bodies may already struggle a bit with fluid regulation, this risk is even higher. Add in medications like diuretics, blood pressure pills, or treatments for heart conditions. And the danger grows quietly in the background. I remember meeting a man named Harold at a community health fair. He was in his 70s, full of spirit, but he told me he kept getting weird spells in the mornings, lightheadedness, shaky hands, a foggy feeling that made it hard to get his day started. His doctor ruled out diabetes and heart issues. Then we talked about his morning routine. Harold would drink 2 huge glasses of plain water as soon as he got up, thinking it would flush out toxins and boost his energy. He didn't realize that in flushing out his system, he was also flushing out his already low sodium reserves. His blood tests showed he was flirting with low sodium every morning without even knowing it. The fix? It didn't require anything extreme. Instead of guzzling plain water, Harold added a small pinch of sea salt to his morning glass, just enough to gently support his electrolytes without overwhelming his system. Some mornings he added a squeeze of lemon and a few grains of Himalayan pink salt, turning his glass into a natural, gentle electrolyte drink. Within a week, the morning weirdness had disappeared. Now, not everyone needs to add salt every morning, but the lesson is clear. First thing in the morning, your body doesn't just need water. It needs balanced hydration. It needs a reminder that minerals matter. Another easy option: start your day with a small, mineral-rich snack alongside your water. A handful of nuts, a piece of banana, even a few slices of avocado can offer just enough natural electrolytes to protect your balance. Or if you prefer, there are clean, natural electrolyte drops available. Just a few drops in your morning water can make all the difference, without adding sugars or chemicals. It's a small shift, a tiny bit of attention to what your body truly needs, not just what sounds good in a health magazine. But that small shift can be the difference between dragging through your morning and stepping into it clear-headed, energized, and fully supported. Remember, water gives life, but minerals give water its true power. Honor both, and you'll be giving your body the true gift of health from the very first moment of your day. Number 3, drinking ice-cold water right after waking up. There's something tempting about reaching for an ice-cold glass of water first thing in the morning. Maybe it's refreshing. Maybe it feels like a jolt to the system, like flipping on the lights in a dark room. But for seniors, that shock of cold water can actually do more harm than good, and most people never see it coming. After a night of sleep, your body is still warming up. Think about it. Your blood pressure is lower, your heart rate is slower, and your core temperature is cooler than it will be during the day. You're not operating at full speed yet. You're transitioning from rest to action. Your body needs a gentle nudge, not an icy slap. When you drink very cold water on an empty stomach right after waking up, you can actually trigger a chain reaction that stresses your system. Blood vessels constrict sharply in response to cold. Your digestive system, which has been peacefully dormant, suddenly tightens up. Your heart may beat a little faster or irregularly to compensate. Instead of easing into your day, you're forcing your body into an emergency response mode. For seniors who may already be managing blood pressure issues, heart conditions, or slower digestion, that sudden constriction can be even more risky. It can cause sudden dizziness, stomach cramping, nausea, or that uncomfortable clenching feeling you sometimes get deep in your chest or gut. I remember talking to a woman named June, a retired teacher who loved her morning ritual: a tall glass of ice water from the fridge, sometimes with a few extra cubes thrown in for good measure. She liked the idea of it, waking her up, but she also started noticing that her hands would feel oddly stiff and cold for hours after breakfast. Her stomach would gurgle and tighten painfully, and she had trouble focusing on her morning reading. At first she thought it was just age catching up with her. It wasn't. It was the ice water. Once she switched to room temperature water, and sometimes even slightly warm water, everything changed. The stiffness disappeared. Her digestion smoothed out. Her mornings felt steady instead of rocky. June said it was like she had stepped out of a storm into a calm morning garden. There's real science behind her experience. Warm or room temperature water is closer to your body's natural internal temperature. It's less of a shock, more of a gentle companion for your organs as they wake up. It promotes better digestion by relaxing the stomach and intestines. It encourages smoother blood flow because your vessels stay open and flexible. It supports steady heart rhythms instead of sudden jumps. And here's something else. Drinking warm water first thing can even help your metabolism. It gently stimulates the digestive fire, helping your body prepare for breakfast and promoting healthier blood sugar levels throughout the morning. Now, I'm not saying you can never enjoy a cold drink. Later in the day, especially when it's hot outside, a chilled glass of water can be a wonderful treat. But first thing in the morning, give your body a softer start. Treat your organs, your heart, your stomach, like an old friend you're waking up with kindness, not a bucket of cold water dumped over their head. A simple guideline: aim for water that feels neutral, not cold to the touch, but comfortable. Some people even like to warm their morning water slightly, like a gentle tea without the tea leaves. A slice of lemon can make it feel even more comforting and refreshing without the harshness. Tiny adjustment, big reward. A steadier heart, a calmer stomach, an easier glide into your day, and over time that steadiness builds into resilience you can feel in every part of your life. Number 4, drinking too much water at once, thinking more is better. Somewhere along the line, the message got out that more water automatically equals better health. We've all heard the advice, drink 8 glasses a day, or a gallon, or keep chugging until your urine runs clear. For seniors, though, that more is better mindset can actually turn a healthy habit into a hidden danger. First, let's understand something important. Your body, especially as you age, is about balance, not volume. Hydration isn't just about pouring water into your system. It's about keeping the delicate balance between water and minerals, water and blood volume, water and organ function. When you flood your body with too much water too quickly, you tip that balance, and sometimes you tip it hard. This can lead to a condition called hyponatremia, a fancy word for when your blood sodium levels drop dangerously low because there's too much water diluting everything. It might sound like something that only happens to marathon runners or extreme athletes. But the truth is, seniors are particularly vulnerable because of slower kidney function and sometimes already low sodium levels. And the symptoms? They're sneaky. A little nausea, some confusion, a sense of being off mentally, muscle weakness, headaches that seem to come out of nowhere. It doesn't feel like a hydration problem. It feels like everything is going wrong at once. I met a gentleman named Frank at a wellness retreat a few years ago. He was in his late 70s, proud of his commitment to health, and he had heard somewhere that drinking a gallon of water every day would keep him feeling young. Every morning he would line up 4 giant bottles of water on his kitchen counter and make it his mission to finish them before dinner. At first, it felt like a win. He was proud. He thought he was flushing out toxins and boosting his energy. But soon Frank started having dizzy spells, felt bloated constantly, and sometimes got so confused he couldn't remember why he'd walked into a room. It scared him, and it scared his family. When we dug into his habits, it was obvious. He was drowning his body in good intentions, but not giving it time to process, balance, and use the water he was pouring in. When Frank adjusted, listening to his natural thirst cues, drinking moderate amounts steadily through the day instead of forcing liters down all at once, the difference was dramatic. His clarity came back. His energy was steadier. He wasn't living under a cloud of discomfort anymore. The truth is, your body speaks to you. Thirst is a message, not an enemy. You don't have to get ahead of dehydration by flooding yourself first thing in the morning. In fact, you can cause more strain that way, especially on your kidneys, your heart, and your brain. Here's a better strategy. Start your morning with a moderate glass of water, around 6 to 8 ounces, And drink it slowly, as we talked about earlier. Then listen. If you still feel thirsty, have a little more after 10 or 15 minutes. Let hydration be a conversation, not a contest. And throughout the day, continue that gentle rhythm. Sip regularly, rather than guzzling periodically. Trust that your body knows what it needs, and when it needs it. Pay attention to your thirst. It's one of your body's oldest, wisest signals. More water isn't always better. Better hydration is better. And that, my friend, comes from wisdom, not force. A little less urgency, a little more trust. That's the path to a body that feels steady, supported, and strong. Number 5. Ignoring medications and conditions that affect hydration needs. One of the most overlooked mistakes when it comes to morning hydration, especially for seniors, is treating every body like it's the same. Drinking water sounds simple, right? But the truth is, as you get older, your hydration needs become more personal. They aren't just based on thirst or general advice from the internet. They're shaped by your medications, your health conditions, and your body's own unique rhythm. And if you ignore that personal side, that's when even good habits can quietly cause trouble. You see, many common medications affect how your body handles water. Diuretics, also known as water pills, are prescribed for high blood pressure, heart failure, or swelling. Their job is to flush extra fluid out of your body. If you're taking a diuretic and you drink large amounts of water first thing in the morning, without guidance, you can dilute your blood sodium levels dangerously low. Or on the flip side, you could end up dehydrated without even realizing it, because the medication is working against you. Blood pressure medications, kidney medications, diabetes treatments, all of these can alter how much water your body holds onto or loses. And health conditions like heart failure, kidney disease, or adrenal issues add another layer of complexity. When your heart is a little weaker, for instance, it can't handle sudden increases in blood volume very easily. If you drink too much water too fast, you might strain your heart without even feeling it until later, when fatigue, swelling, or shortness of breath kick in. I once worked with a wonderful woman named Lydia, a retired nurse who knew a lot about general health but was struggling with her own hydration. She was taking medication for mild heart failure and had been told years ago to drink lots of water, so every morning, faithfully, she drank 2 large glasses before breakfast. But over time, she noticed she was feeling more bloated. Her ankles would swell by late morning. She felt tired even after a full night's sleep. It wasn't until her doctor adjusted her fluid intake based on her heart medication that things improved. She learned that for her, lots of water meant something very different than it did for her younger, healthier self. Lydia didn't need to stop drinking water. She needed to listen to her body and follow her doctor's guidance, not the one-size-fits-all advice she heard years ago. So what can you do to avoid this mistake? Start by knowing your medications inside and out. Know what they do, how they affect your hydration, and what warning signs to watch for. If you're ever unsure, don't guess. A quick conversation with your doctor, your nurse, or your pharmacist could save you months of feeling off without knowing why. Another smart step, keep a hydration journal for a few days. Write down how much you drink, how you feel afterward, and any symptoms you notice. Patterns often emerge that are invisible in the moment, but crystal clear when you look back. Maybe you notice you feel great after half a glass of water, but sluggish after a full one. Maybe you find that sipping slowly while you take your morning medication keeps you feeling balanced all day. These little clues are golden, and they're unique to you. You are not just a senior citizen, or a heart patient, or a kidney patient. You are a whole person with a story, a body, and a wisdom all your own. Your hydration needs should honor that individuality. And remember, personalization is not weakness. It's strength. It's knowledge. It's the difference between following the crowd and following your own best path toward health. So before you pour that morning glass of water, take a moment. Ask yourself, what does my body need today? That one moment of mindfulness can change everything. Conclusion: the wisdom of listening to your body. Morning is a sacred time. It's the beginning of a new chapter, a chance to start fresh and choose how you want the day to unfold. And something as simple as drinking water, when done with attention and care, can either build you up or quietly chip away at your strength. Today we uncovered 5 dangerous mistakes that many seniors make when drinking water in the morning. Not because they're careless, not because they don't care, but because the body changes, and sometimes no one teaches us how to change with it. We talked about the risk of drinking water too quickly and overwhelming your system. We explored why pure water on an empty stomach without balancing your minerals can set you up for dizziness and fatigue. We saw how ice-cold water can shock the body when it's at its most vulnerable, and how drinking too much at once, thinking more is better, can lead to confusion, bloating, even dangerous electrolyte imbalances. And we learned how deeply medications and personal health conditions shape what hydration really means for you. But more important than the mistakes themselves is this truth: none of these issues are set in stone. Every single one can be adjusted, healed, improved with small, wise changes. And that in itself is empowering. The goal is not perfection. The goal is presence. Paying attention, listening to the quiet signals your body sends you every morning, and honoring them like the sacred messages they are. Wisdom isn't something we're born with. It's something we earn. It's the sum of all the times we tried, learned, adjusted, and grew stronger. You are carrying that wisdom inside you right now. Every experience you've had, every lesson you've lived through, every morning you've woken up and faced the day, you've earned it. Now it's time to use that wisdom in one of the most loving ways possible, by giving your body what it truly needs. Tomorrow morning, when you rise, don't just reach for water out of habit. Reach for it with intention. Drink slowly. Listen closely. Balance carefully. Personalize your choices. Treat your body like the old, loyal friend that it is, because it's been carrying you faithfully through every season of your life. And if you do, you won't just be avoiding mistakes. You'll be building a foundation for mornings that feel energized, peaceful, and strong. You'll be stepping into your day not as a passenger, but as a captain, awake, aware, and fully alive. Here's to many more good mornings, and the wisdom to make each one better than the last.